The mirth was excessive, almost jarring. Flatware resonated against the china, goblets of wine tilted, and the tapers swayed with the cadence of our family's felicity. Then the server inclined toward me, her silhouette interrupting the luminescence. She slid a folded note into my palm, her voice as subtle as a sigh. "Do not consume that." My heart seized. I did not blink, did not inhale. I smiled at the jest my son Jorge had just shared, and in one seamless maneuver, I exchanged my glass with hers. My daughter, Lena's, she remained oblivious. None of them noticed, but I observed her lips meet the rim. I watched her throat move as she ingested what was intended for me. 5 minutes later, her laughter fractured. Her hands became unsteady. She excused herself, pale and perspiring, while my family's conversations descended into perplexity. The cataclysm I had been anticipating had finally arrived. In the beginning, she was luminous when I first encountered her. My son had introduced her to our residents, his smile broad with the kind of assurance only the youthful possess. She was courteous, genial, and articulate. She held my gaze like someone who understood reverence. I granted her my confidence. In those days, I wished to believe in her. I desired to believe my son had selected wisely, that the woman at his side would safeguard him as fiercely as I had. She shared humor with me in the kitchen, leaned close to impart confidences, professed she viewed me as a surrogate mother. I opened my embrace. I opened my home. What an error in judgment that was. The initial flaw was minor. A misplaced receipt tucked into Jorge's coat lining. 2 servings of wine, 2 main courses, a hotel booking. His explanation was awkward, premeditated, but I knew him. He stammered when he fabricated. She did not. So I monitored. Patterns materialized. Late evenings that extended into daybreak. Bank withdrawals that were unaccounted for. Whispers that ceased upon my entry into the room. And then the message. Her error. A text intended for him, but transmitted to me. 3 words. Malice cloaked as gentility. She suspects nothing. That was the evening I ceased being blind. That was the evening the maternal instinct in me expired and the strategist was birthed. I did not challenge her. Not then. Fury is Fury leaves proof. I required endurance, exactitude, timing. Thus, I smiled broader, embraced her longer, lauded her before everyone. I permitted her to believe she had me duped, and in the quiet intervals, I accumulated everything: records, photographs, eyewitnesses. I constructed a prison with bars imperceptible to her. And then I uncovered the ultimate truth. It was not merely betrayal. It was a insurance documentation bearing my designation marked in delicate ink, a signature counterfeited, a payout that would transfer to her possession if anything ever befell me. She had not been attempting to separate my son from me. She had been attempting to obliterate me. The day knew. So, I arranged the dining setting myself. My anniversary dinner, every taper positioned with care, every glass filled, every plate arranged meticulously. I requested that she dispense the wine personally so she would feel in charge, so she would never surmise I already possessed the knowledge. I even afforded her the chance, an opportunity to hesitate, an opportunity to withdraw, but she did not. She leaned forward, steady and calm, sliding the goblet toward me like a lover's gesture. That was when the server appeared. A stranger, yet not truly so, a service I had solicited weeks earlier. The note was her signal. My hand completed the rest. She stumbled back into the room moments later, her face glistening with perspiration, lips colorless. My son rushed to her side, confusion morphing into alarm. "What is the matter? What is occurring?" I remained seated, my serviette folded neatly on my lap, and I spoke nothing. She looked at me, then truly looked, and in that silence, she grasped it. Her eyes widened, her lips parted, but no utterance followed. She knew the contents of the glass she had prepared for me now burned in her veins. I held her gaze until the medics arrived, until her person was removed from the chamber, until the rumors spread through the family like an inferno. Not one person suspected me. Not one. The aftermath. They termed it an unfortunate occurrence. They always do when the narrative is recounted by the survivors. My son wept for her, lamented her loss, but he never regarded me with distrust. How could he? I was the grieving mother, the unlucky intended victim who had nearly been poisoned. Now when I sit in the stillness of my home, I reenact the scene. Her hand on the goblet, my hand exchanging it. The expression in her eyes when she realized the game had concluded and she had suffered defeat. I experience no remorse. Guilt is reserved for the innocent. What I feel is equilibrium, justice dispensed not by the legal system, but by the very hand she had attempted to eliminate. On my anniversary, surrounded by relatives, I was destined to perish. Instead, I was reborn, and she was the one who vanished from the table.